Recent changes have many Malaysians motivated about our new change. And I can tell you one change. If a 93-year-old man can get up and start turning around a country, none of us have a really worthwhile excuse for not doing something for ourselves. So there are a few things that we can really learn here, because some of the changes that we've seen that Tun has been making with the country is actually some really good business. So let's talk about that. So what can we as entrepreneurs learn from what we've seen so far? Number one, a leaner cabinet. Tun M has made some really tough decisions to actually lower the cost of running the country by actually running it on a smaller cabinet, a leaner cabinet, I would say, which means that if everybody has got to work harder, they've got more scope, and there's just not as many people to do stuff, that's fine, because we've got to reduce a huge debt for our country. Is that the kind of decision that you should be making for your company as well? You know, are you harboring many non-performers, and then there are a lot of people in your company? Some of them have redundant jobs, and some of them are relevant, and non-performers are probably still staying in your company. And some of us have to make some really tough decisions on letting them go. Number two, the relevance of certain agencies. When Tun M took office, it's almost as though he came with a big brush and he started scrubbing the entire org chart, even restructuring some of how the agencies behave and who they report to. Some of those agencies became less relevant because there were other agencies as well. And so the question comes again is, how can we learn what we can do here with our businesses? Are all the departments that we still have through our groups, through the offices in our nation, if you have multiple offices, are each department still relevant to your overall goal? Has your goals changed? And how do those departments need to be scrubbed so that you're as efficient as possible? Number three, living reasonably. And when we are in super high levels of debt, it's so easy to hide behind a higher GDP while the rakyat is suffering. Now, so instead of buying and keeping a flashy cruise ship that's, the size of 2 houses and a few hundred handbags, it's probably so important right now to actually live within our means. Well, companies out there, if you need to downsize, do that. Yeah, move into a smaller office. Not have the company car, release the bodyguard, release the chauffeur. Don't have all of those things just to be able to keep a flashy outlook. We ensure that we can still keep paying salaries consistently, and our employees don't have to suffer as a result of us keeping that outlook. And that's exactly what we've seen in our country. We've made some tough decisions. It's not easy. Number four, getting the right people to do the right job. And Tun M got Lim Guan Eng to be the finance minister after his fantastic track record of cleaning up Penang's financial mess. He did that. Of course, he didn't do that alone. He had a lot of help, but he managed to pull that off despite high national debt. And Tun would have been the education minister, but many people voted against that, and well, I kind of get that as well. Why? Because he has a country to run. Now, it's important that he oversees the entire thing and not just have a pretty full hand at running one ministry. And so what does this mean for business? The CEO needs to keep their eye on the overall business and not have yourself a pretty full-time job as maybe the full-time chef or the full-time salesperson, because a lot of your effectiveness is going to be drained from steering the entire ship if you're needed so much in there as one of its employees. So if you can, as best as possible, start getting full-time people that are taking all this role so that you can keep a good eye on where the business is going and look out for threats and even take advantage of opportunities. So in some ways, I'm pretty glad that Tun did not get education minister, although he was truly more than qualified. So there you have it. We have a new Malaysia. What are you doing to revamp your business and to start taking it forward? Well, there's a new lease of positivity, new lease of inspiration out there. So start doing things differently, and I look forward to more positive change with you. And guys, remember this. It's all about having a great business and a great life, because being in business is about having more life. Take care, and I'll see you next week.